Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from MouseSteps.com.
And this is episode number 554
554
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We're going to be talking about Mickey's very not so scary Halloween party today.
It all runs together,
It
doesn't
does. If you're looking for Halloween, someplace to go for Halloween, there's Disneyland as well, which we are at right now.
Yeah, we are in Anaheim.
We're in Anaheim. We flew out yesterday. Head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. There's also Halloween on the High Seas.
And of course, that's Disney Cruise Line.
Yes, and Disneyland Paris will start Halloween on October 1st. So there's a lot to see. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. But head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, fill out that no obligation quote, and they can help you with booking wherever you would like to go.
So speaking of Halloween, we are on the monorail on the way to the very first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and this was Friday night.
Yes, that was August 15th, I think a little later even than last year, but very hot. It felt like 100.
Hottest ever. I think it was 108 real field temperature. So.
Right, and you can see everybody with the umbrellas outside waiting to get into the park, which you can get into the park at 4, although they let in just a little bit earlier than that. But we
about
showed up
3:50, 3:55, close to 4.
And then we headed straight to, you were able to get over to Jack and Sally and actually be 6 in line, as I recall. And I was in a different line, actually, and I ended up kind of stuck, so I didn't go.
Well, here we are. As you can see, I am close to the front here for Jack and Sally. It was very exciting because it was a brand new look for Jack and Sally this year, and it was the first time the public had seen that. So there was a lot of excitement for Jack and Sally.
Right, and the lines had gotten up to hours, so that hours or a little bit more that we spent out in.
How long did Jeremiah end up waiting?
He waited, I think, about 3.5 hours, and that might have been a lot of that during the party. So you were able to meet Jack and Sally really soon after 4 o'clock, and then we also met Mickey and Minnie, who started just before 7. So we had met them.
Timing was very important on this night.
So here are Jack and Sally. Jack has a new head.
Yes.
A new head. And I know.
And here he is. Oh boy.
Sally's a little different too.
All I can say is I loved it. It was a very magical experience. I love Jack and Sally anyway. This is usually the highlight. Would you say it's one of your highlights?
It
if
is,
not
but
the highlight?
Yes, but I didn't meet them.
Well, you're seeing it.
I can see them, yes. And then you always ask them for the cackle, and he was very nice to oblige.
Not only did he oblige, he said he would love it. His words exactly. I would love it. And then he did the best cackle. You're about to see that, I think, right now. Here comes the cackle. Look at that. Jack and Sally did not disappoint.
And I was sorry that I was hoping that maybe later in the evening I could kind of run in and see them. But I think it was just busy all night long. And, of course, Mickey and Minnie probably were kind of busy, too, because everybody loves Mickey with Minnie, and this is the first year for them.
Well, not to worry. You will have a chance, actually, tonight in the Frightfully Fun Parade. You'll see this new Jack Skellington look, and also he'll be meeting at Disneyland, so we'll be able to meet them very soon.
There's a lot. There's
worldwide. When we're in Paris, also you'll be able to have
yes.
it. So this is just a minor setback.
We used to. It is a tradition for us to see Jack and Sally first. So here we are outside. We have not yet met Mickey and Minnie. That is a little bit later on. We're going to the Market Street bypass, which is where all of the party goers go to get the first treat.
Yeah, it's sort of your introduction to the party. Here's a guide map.
And first characters. No, unless you count Jack and Sally.
That's true. That's true. But I have to say, this whole bypass thing, this is not something that they always did. This has evolved over the years, and it just gets better and better. And this year is the best it has ever been. They now have a DJ. There's the DJ back there.
Well, they've had the DJ at least for 1 or 2 years prior.
I wasn't finished with my.
Okay, sorry.
But they have. I was saying they have the DJ. They have all sorts of
the
interesting.
statues are there.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They used to be out in the hub.
Right. I remember
a long time ago. So. I kind of miss them there, but it's nice to see them here.
And this is also the place where you're going to get your trick-or-treat bag and your candy.
Right, you get an M&M's, a full-size M&M's caramel.
Mm-hmm.
So a little something to prime yourself before the wide amount of candy.
And we're
So
gonna see that in a minute. But mine was put into the bag. Like in past years, they'd give you the bag, and then further down you would trick or treat and get your first candy.
Right.
But they were very efficient, where I got the bag with the candy. So
Yes.
there, and here it is. I love the artwork there, and
I
they
do
sell
too.
that on a shirt as well.
I like the artwork as well. You've got a little haunted mansion and also a little Mickey
Grave
and Minnie.
diggers doing their
Yeah.
little scraping, like we'll see in the parade in a little while.
And you've got, of course, all the M&M's branding because that's who the big sponsor is for the party. And there were two different characters back here. Cruella returns. And honestly, I already have mentioned how hot it was. It was almost 100. I don't know how she wore that
I
at
was
all.
thinking the
Oh, my
same
word.
thing. That is a very warm looking jacket for Cruella.
I think that's why she kept kind of trying to take it off, right? And so she was really fantastic. And she alternates with Mother Gothel. I don't know if there will be any other character. Let's say Cruella, isn't available or something.
I feel
a date.
it's probably going to be these two back to back.
Probably.
And it's not the first time that Mother Gothel has made a Halloween appearance. And speaking of Mother Gothel, there she is. But we actually saw her at the Oogie Boogie Bash, an event we're going to tonight. She appeared in one of the treat trails for a number of years. And
that is correct,
And then
yes.
she came to Disneyland Paris. We were there. We just happened to be there, as we often are, for Halloween last year. And she had this very long speech that she would give. It was a very interesting. I think it evolved after we saw it.
So, but this is the first time for Mickey's Not So Scary, I believe, and she's also in the Mickey's Booty Parade.
And of all the different versions I've seen with Mother Gothel, I think this is my favorite. She was really good. Very, very good. You were able to interact with her, and you could see better. The lighting is really good because it's daytime. Unlike Oogie Boogie, where they would have her in the darkness. Remember?
And I actually like her as well in Oogie Boogie Bash because when you go to Oogie Boogie Bash, which is I think our favorite of the Halloween events. It's like theater to me, and
Right.
they're really just kind of playing out and acting out, and you can interact with them. So I like both, and so here we are. We're just about to leave the Market Street bypass.
But that's that's impressive. There's a lot of entertainment. You got candy, you got your bag, and you got to see two characters.
And now we waited about 1 hour for Mickey and Minnie. We arrived at even less. We arrived around 6, and we were second in line. And so we waited. They started 15 minutes early, so we waited about 45 minutes. And here are Mickey and Minnie. So last year, Mickey and Minnie debuted these costumes, and I was thinking it was a couple of years ago, but I looked it up, and it's last year.
But
it feels like a long time ago.
The thing is, they debuted them separately.
Right, and I was like, these are coordinating outfits.
Right.
Why are they like Minnie's in Storybook Circus and Mickey's in Town Square Theater? Why are you making these beautifully coordinated outfits and not putting them together?
All is right.
Anywhere near them.
All is right in the world
themselves.
here. This is they needed to be together,
They look
and I'm
great.
glad they are. I think it's fantastic. It was obviously very popular all night, and I'm very happy to see them together again.
But at the same time, the way they changed the characters in Storybook Circus, I think, could have been better. So for now,
let's not jump ahead of ourselves.
Yes, this is really good though.
And I'll have to say, I think we calculated it's been 12 years since Mickey and Minnie met together, and those were in the purple outfits, because we have a video up from 12 years ago with those outfits. So I believe that was the last time they met together at the party.
And also when Mickey's Toontown Fair was. I'm trying to remember if it's Mickey's Toontown or Mickey's Toontown Fair, because I forget what it's called at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But they used to meet there as well,
that's
from
right.
what I remember.
So now we are in Storybook Circus. You had mentioned that earlier. They have some changes this year. It's just Daisy and Goofy. Last year you had 4 characters meeting in here, including Minnie, and now it's just Daisy and Goofy. Donald, we're gonna show you where Donald ended up later on in the show, and they also have Pluto doing a meet and greet at the entrance to Storybook Circus.
And I'm not sure why they just didn't put Daisy with Donald.
Yeah.
So here.
Trick or treat, trick or treat.
You can trick or treat, of course, all over the park, whether you're old or young. And so we are in Storybook Circus, though. We got some treats there. And those are the new pumpkins.
I love
and
them.
They do light up with the Timothy Mouse and the Dumbo.
So now, of course, without any explanation, it's a Headless Horseman.
And Headless Horseman rides before Mickey's Boo to You parade. And
you can see on the clock there, it is 8:15, so it's not even quite dark at Walt Disney World at this time of year, August 15th.
And we do like near Town Square Theater often for the parade. It is not the quickest place. It's like 15 to 20 minutes after that Headless Horseman.
It's our traditional spot.
But if you go to Frontierland, it will be much quicker to arrive, and then you can get back to your party time.
Very true. That's right.
So if we do a second, viewing, we usually do it in Frontierland.
Right. And, I like the lighting here. I like the fact that you can arrive a little bit later and still get a good spot. Main Street fills up at the beginning of the party, basically. 7 o'clock, people are lining up. Here you could get here maybe 7:30, 7:40 and still get a good spot. So that's another reason.
And so there wasn't really too many changes to the parade. So here you have Donald and Mickey, and you've got the Minnie and Daisy and Clarabelle as the Sanderson sisters, and then Chip and Dale in the back of the main float.
Mickey and Minnie, quick change
Yes.
for them. And then they got to get back into those green outfits to meet their fans again. It's a hard-working night.
Daisy as well.
Daisy as well, of course. And there is Chip and Dale.
They've got their pirate costumes.
And the vampire costumes like we used to see at Fort Wilderness.
And I cannot wait to see all of the characters at Disneyland in their new outfits as well.
I can't wait for that either. That's tonight. I can't believe just a few hours after we finish the show, we're going to be at the very first Oogie Boogie Bash.
Right, but then the 22nd is the first Disneyland official.
Oh, that's
Halloween
what
day.
you meant. Yes.
Right.
And
so
there's something else about that day that's very special.
That's
too.
my birthday as well.
That is a wonderful day.
I feel
Denise Day.
So here is Tinkerbell. We saw Tinkerbell on that float as well.
So many times
Right,
during the pandemic.
At the beginning of the pandemic, when they had floats coming down Main Street, Tinkerbell was on that float.
Just that float would come
Just that
down
float,
the street,
right.
and we'd be like,
But it's not
okay,
the-
here's Tinkerbell again.
It's not the only, float there was. And Jack and Sally had their own float also during Halloween time.
And I think this is Barbosa here enjoying his apple.
And there is also Jack Sparrow on top.
In the past, they used to have Pirate Angelica also appear there on there. That was many years ago at this point.
Every so often, though, we see her.
She would make an appearance, yeah.
And it will be interesting now that we're going to have the Beak and Barrel, if we'll see a little bit more of Angelica
I didn't even
around.
think of that.
Yeah, but you never know. So here are the Gravediggers. One of my favorites. I just like how they take the shovels and
they're going to
scrape
spark it
the
up right here. And this
sidewalk.
is so popular now. It's on merchandise, as we saw earlier, and we're going to see again. You can buy a shirt with the Gravediggers sparking their shovels, and also they're on the trick-or-treat bag this year.
And it just really, I just think it's really cool. And then also here are some Haunted Mansion gravestones.
Yep.
And that's been in the parade for a number of years now.
Yeah, yep, sure has. And this is one of my favorite little things, the floating...
bride.
The floating bride, yeah. And if look at the colors, I was noticing the colors kind of change as she floats by.
And it's sort of like Ursula, has a similar way of doing, floating or, I forget how you would call it.
And the dancers have evolved. They used to be in very dark outfits, with all the soot and everything on them, and now they're more colorful.
And I'm not even sure when that changed. I'm going to have to look back on, the previous few years.
Yeah, I know it's not this year. I do remember it last year, so I'm not sure either.
And so here is the Haunted Mansion float. And I will say that Jeff and I have both been going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen the parade.
It's evolved so much over the years.
Over like the 30 years. Like it doesn't feel like very many changes. Like this year there's little bits of changes, but over that 30 or so years, it certainly has.
And you just saw the hitchhiking ghosts. If you like them, you're going to see them later also appearing in Frontierland. Speaking of Frontierland, this is the Frontierland section of the parade.
And you have the scarecrows, and then Goofy here has a really kind of a fun country style outfit.
Yes, it's the hoedown, I guess. You could say it's his hoedown outfit.
And that section has changed a lot, in recent years as well. And here we have some country bears.
I'm so glad we still have country bears. Country bears, even back in, I think so I've been to every party since 2003 in a row. Even that one had the country bears in it. And you have Clara Cluck. One year we got to meet Clara Cluck in the Diamond Horseshoe, remember?
That was a really interesting time.
And we also see her at Easter. She makes an appearance during Easter week, too.
Although we were in Paris during Easter this year.
But we've seen it many times, so it's okay.
Yes, and it hadn't changed. So here is Wreck-It Ralph, and we'll see Penelope on the candy company.
So let's tell the story we tell every year about this float here.
You can tell it.
So this float used to be Cruella's dog catching cart, and it had actual Dalmatians in it, and it was really great, like to have barking real dogs in there with Cruella following along, menacing them. So.
And I do remember at least one time seeing that. I mean, that was a long time ago. It's just interesting to see how things change and how floats are used, and characters that swap out. Like here, Goofy used to be always the candy company.
It was the
character.
Goofy candy company float. Right now, Vanellope has taken it over.
Right. Anytime you saw like a candy company float, it was always Goofy's candy company. There's even a store at Disney Springs called still called Goofy's Candy Company. So I just think that's very interesting.
And one thing you're not going to get from the video is when that float goes by, it smells of candy.
And they used to hand out candy.
I was just going to say, for years, at the end of the parade, you'd have a bunch of cast members handing out candy.
But not good candy. It was never good candy, so it's okay. We just saw Ursula, floating by, and here is Cruella, who's pulling double duty. Or triple duty. Because we saw her.
She's in the Hocus Pocus show, too.
No, I wasn't going to say that. Like, she was actually, greeting guests up and down Main Street. And
oh, that's right.
Remember? So she's been a very busy villain.
And here is the Queen of Hearts and the cards, the marching cards.
And she's also quite busy. She meets guests during the party.
She does, yes, in Fantasyland.
The cards have been here for a few years. They had been added.
Mm-hmm. I think they're a great addition. Yes, this whole section. It's good to be bad. It's good to be bad.
This is by far my favorite part of the parade. I love the music, and it's funny because it used to be. I thought it's good to be back.
Yes.
So which is totally true. It's good to be back, right?
It's always good to be back for Halloween. And they used to have a stage show where the Hocus Pocus show is in front of the castle with that song. That was like the main song of the show. And
that was a good one.
It was the Disney Villains Mix and Mingle.
And Disneyland Paris used to have one as well that was very similar. So we saw Pain and Panic, and some of the villains have changed. There's no Gaston here, and I think somebody else. And also there's new performers in those striped outfits.
That I don't remember before. Yep, that is a new addition.
And
bowler hat guy.
Yeah, I think we were missing a couple, and Lady of Tremaine was not here. So there's a little bits of changes. And here we have Mother Gothel.
And Mother Gothel, she's been working hard because she has the choreography down, got the clap going. She's all set now.
She is. And so, of course, Maleficent is always there, at her spot. And then Evil Queen is on the back, which has been forever. And I don't remember when there wasn't an Evil Queen on the back.
And Maleficent has, her outfit has evolved too. She's back to the classic Maleficent outfit. And as you said, there is the Evil Queen. So there is the 2025 edition of Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade.
And, it would be nice to see it refreshed a little bit, but it's always...
It's a classic.
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
So in Frontierland, speaking of back, the hitchhiking ghosts are back and above where the country fair musical jamboree is.
Right. There's a little bridge that goes to Adventureland, and they're right above that.
And the cadaver dance as well, which you may show. I have taken some video of them. And they interact with it's a distant. Remember, again, back in 2020, it's the same type of area that you might see greetings from.
I call this Oogie Boogie style because this is the kind of thing that we're going to see tonight. You're not far from them, but you're not right on top of them either for some of the entertainment.
Right.
So now it is fireworks time.
Yes, and I did not watch it this time, except from from the back. Like I was actually at the back of the castle for a little while. I was going to try to get to the People Mover, and I did not make it. But you waited so you could see and photograph Jack.
Yeah, I love to be close to the castle so I can see Jack Skellington. He's so impressive. He makes 2 appearances during the fireworks, and it's a Disney not so spooky Halloween spectacular, something like that.
And he is a puppet, and he is also used in the What's This?
Yes, yeah, the show at
The Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along at Jollywood Nights.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say he's very impressive in front of the castle, but also when you see him so close up in that auditorium is really amazing.
Well,
too.
it's very fortunate to see this because most people do not be close to the castle because typically you're going to get a better view of fireworks from far away. But I find it's a good trade-off. It's worth it for me. You could still see the castle. There's a lot of things going on, projections, stuff going on in the castle. You could still see the fireworks. Maybe not as good as from far away, but I think it's worth it to get that close-up shot of Jack.
And I enjoyed my time, wandering about.
I
also
saw
and
what you
behind-
did. You put a little clip in from the behind the castle.
I did,
I think you're
and
meeting the Tremaines when this was going on.
I didn't meet them, like I saw them, and I didn't know where the line was. I still don't know where the line was for them, but I just took a tiny clip of them.
And here is the second appearance of Jack Skellington. If you're a Nightmare Before a Christmas fan, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party does deliver. That's for sure.
There's quite a bit. Like, I feel like there's almost a resurgence. I think the movie is about 30 years old now. And they keep getting more popular, Jack and Sally especially. But Scary Teddy is my favorite. Vampire Teddy
Yes,
is
you
my
love that.
personal,
Yes.
like that popcorn bucket. It has a place of honor in our house.
So we reconnected after the fireworks. We were just walking around to see some atmosphere, and I noticed, look at this. You have Maribel, Bruno, 0 weight.
I noticed.
Was it you who noticed?
Yes, I noticed
Well,
them.
very good.
But, it was so dark. That area is so dark. So I was like, is that Bruno over there? Because I didn't see Maribel over there.
I thought it was a guest at first. I really did. And then when I walked over there and there was come this way, meet Maribel and Bruno.
And
they were
usually-
great, by the way.
Usually they're in the garden, and maybe it's because of the fireworks and all
We've
that.
waited like a half hour to meet them before.
Right.
And longer, actually,
Right.
in the
And then
past.
other guests came and
Oh, and there is
got mine.
your video of the
Cadaver
cadavers.
Dance. And
Same place.
I enjoy them as well. And the only group that I would have liked to have seen that I didn't was Rusty Cutlass, because I love
Do we
their
know
music.
that, are they definitely?
They are,
Okay.
yes. And so if I do get back, I would make it a point.
So I edited this. This is your footage. You can explain it. I think I know what's going on. We're trick-or-treating in the Diamond Horseshoe.
That is exactly what you're doing. I liked the atmosphere. I didn't even make it into all the trick-or-treat places, but I made it into some.
It's beautiful. Like, wouldn't it have been great if you had
This was-
villains upstairs waving to you?
And look at like Romeo McGraw's coming
I love
up.
this. I noticed this. You gave me a whole bunch of clips. I edited this whole show on the plane flying out last night, and I
That was
laughed.
so
I
fun.
laughed to myself when I saw that. And there, of course, is the Haunted Mansion. They always have special lighting and smoke for the party.
But also, a few characters like
Carlotta,
right,
Madame Carlotta.
but they were not there when I went. So that was toward the end of the evening. I also rode Winnie the Pooh because there was no wait. And at the end of the night, Peter Pan did not have a wait either. So that is something to remember is, rides are easier to get on.
So we are now taking a walk into Princess Fairy Tale Hall. And look at this. We have Maleficent. You just saw the
Evil
Evil
Queen.
Queen.
And they started this last year where you had, this is a treat trail as well. It is kind of an Oogie Boogie style Oogie Boogie.
Very much
That's-
so.
The treat trails for Oogie Boogie are all villains, Disney villains. So this is very similar to that.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see Walt Disney World doing more of this. We said this last year. I think it adds atmosphere, it adds fun to the party, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more with Donald. But for me, the more the better of these, and of entertainment while you're doing your trick or treating.
I was kind of hoping they would do even more this year.
But you have to give them time.
Right.
At least they've doubled their capacity. Because
Doubling.
you now have Donald and you have Mother Gothel, so
Right.
they went from 2 to 4. That's double.
Yes, they are continuing when we were at the party, like there are certain aspects like Cruella walking around that reminded me of Disneyland and this type of thing as well.
And I saw Gaston walking around roaming too. I think there's probably more of it. Like we'll be going to another party and I'll have my eyes out to see what else is going on as far as roaming characters. Look at that candy. There is no shortage of candy at this party.
Not at the party, right. So you can trick or treat all night long if you want. I personally recommend waiting till at least the second half of the party because you don't want to be necessarily carrying around
especially
these
in
bags.
August, so your chocolate doesn't melt all over. This is a great shot you got. Very nice with the Apu characters all dressed up for Halloween.
And right, there's Tigger and Eeyore, Pooh, and then Piglet, and they're all in their Halloween costumes. We did not meet them on this day because we didn't have time. You can't have time to see every character in one day.
Right. But it was still nice to get all this atmosphere. We went more trick-or-treating in Gaston's Tavern. We're now back together here. We've met, and time for some more candy.
I feel like we've seen Gaston once in here, and I could
We
be
have.
totally wrong.
No, we definitely have. He wasn't in here. I think he was outside of this area. And matter of fact, last year it was, and we recorded him during the fireworks. Remember?
I do. Like he should be in that chair though. Like you just walk by.
Oh, that would
and
be
you can,
that. Or the Beast.
photograph.
Maybe the Beast in that chair, even better.
And so we're just showing. There's a few ride overlays, including the Mad Tea Party. Also, Space Mountain is in the dark, and again, we just didn't have time for that on this. You've got
you really can't do it all. There's
can't do it all
no
in one
way to do
evening.
everything. No, and they also have magic shots. There's shopping here. Some nice thing. I like this new ornament here. There's just so much and not enough time. Only 5 hours, and then we maximize those early hours with some characters. But still, it's
But most of it, like especially if you're waiting for the parade and for the fireworks and everything, right? We're just looking at a little bit. There's not a ton of merchandise, but there is, like a Spirit jersey. I think the Loungefly T-shirt. So I actually like the postcards, and that's something. When you're going to go back and maybe you can get me those postcards.
So this is something new here. Mickey's Philharmonic.
No, Magic.
Philharmagic.
Yes.
Philharmagic. That's it.
It's been there so long. The Mickey's Philharmagic. It's hard to believe. I still remember when it opened.
Me
But
too.
Donald Duck is. This is where you can find him in the queue. And at this point, when I took this, it wasn't busy. Like it was busy earlier, but this was after. Maybe it's 11:30 at night, and Donald just is greeting. But they do want you to move along. Like if you.
It looks like you did this multiple times
I did
to
it
get
twice.
the footage. So very good. I really wanted you to get something so we could show it and talk about it on the show. So great job.
And the second time I was there really was almost no guests. So I could get him multiple times because I'm passing him multiple times.
So while all that was going on, I was waiting 1 hour so I could be front row center for the Hocus Pocus Midnight Show.
Right, Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular.
It paid off. This was a great view. It is a great show. Everybody loves this show. It's been playing, I think, for about 10 years
Yeah, something
now.
like that. Isn't that hard to believe? Like, it's hard to believe. It's been here a long time.
But it's actually even better to see it up close. You could see the facial expressions, and you're really into the show. For many years, I've always watched it from further back. And then a couple years ago, I started trying to get closer, and I think I prefer it this way.
And you can see, there's a variety of different villains. They're making, they're helping to make the party potion, the Hocus Pocus party potion.
And here comes Hades. And Hades we will be seeing tonight at the Oogie Boogie Bash in one of the treat trails.
Right, as a face character, just as he is here. And we always enjoy him, like when he turns red.
Yeah, if you get him really
Or
mad,
orange.
he has his hothead look. Cruella DeVille once again, the hardest working lady in show business.
Hardest working villain at the party, I think.
Unbelievable.
And it feels like, you see her all night long. We've got Captain Hook. And I believe we don't see him too often as a face character, but he's in the Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After show as well.
He is a
Disney's
face character
Hollywood
in that one,
Studios.
right? So he's evolving,
Yes.
continuingly too. And Jafar also.
And again, another character you don't really see as a face character at other times. So it would be cool, though, if we ever did, like as a meet and greet.
And it is Lady Tremaine, who you almost met but did not meet.
with the sisters.
Yeah, I saw that, and I wasn't sure if you actually met her or not.
I
but
didn't
now,
end up
now I
meeting
know.
them.
And now it's time for the Hocus Pocus finale. All the characters are on stage. You have some pyrotechnics, and it's a great way to end off the show. It's a good size show. It's over a 20-minute show. I would recommend what we usually do. The midnight show starts right as the party ends, so you're kind of maximizing your time and not utilize unless you're like me and you wait an hour. So then you are using your time.
The only thing is, if you have your heart set on it, and for any reason it does not play, or if it stops midway,
That's a
then
good
you
point.
wouldn't see it. So whatever you want to do, you can make it your second time. But we were there until right after the show ended. So it was a good long day for us. It was a good long day. We got
Before 2 and left at almost 1 o'clock. So yeah,
it was
almost 11 hours of Halloween goodness.
And then hours later, we were winging our way to Disneyland.
Right.
So we normally would do a show after two parties, but it's one because
we're here.
It's going to be a little
Right.
while before you get to that second party, and maybe we'll even do one where I get to have a second party too. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Halloween.
And we'll try to squeeze in the Oogie Boogie show also. But I think I'd like to combine the Oogie Boogie show with the Disneyland Halloween. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still finishing off with Hocus Pocus, and now we're leaving the Magic Kingdom. Let's sum it up. What say you for the 2025 version of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
There were little aspects of it I thought that were really nice changes. Not too much was taken away that I miss. Like I think having 4 characters in Storybook Circus would be nice again under the big top. But it's not like a refreshed party. Like last year for Mickey's Very Merry, remember they had that refreshed music?
Yes.
And I was like, it changed everything because it really elevated the parade and to me elevated the evening. So there was nothing like that, but I know you, and I didn't see Jack and Sally in person.
That was the highlight. So
Right.
if any reason for you to go, it would have to be for Jack and Sally.
But I do enjoy, some of the entertainment. Like, of course, I missed Rusty Cutlass, but I enjoyed the Cadaver Dance.
I really do think you need to. I feel I need 2 parties. I do need 2 parties because now I can go back. I got all the big stuff. I can go back and enjoy all the little things that I missed.
But also, with recording,
It's
spent like
very different than most guests.
Right. We spend you spend an hour waiting for fireworks. So it's not the same, but I still think, the nice thing is you can go to the party and especially later in the evening, be able to ride attractions with almost no wait. I think that's a huge value to the party ticket to be able to do that. Again, I walked onto Winnie the Pooh. I could have walked onto Peter Pan. I walked into Haunted Mansion in that last half hour. And I wish I had a little extra time to walk into a few more attractions because I enjoy that too.
So that is about it for our first Halloween show of the year. And it's time to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel and fill out that no obligation quote, fee free. And there's a lot to do this year, even like with all the Halloween, but also the holidays are coming up. And there's I think there's still that holiday offer that MEI can help you with for Walt Disney World. We've got Disneyland Paris. We're set for that.
Adventures by Disney. There's so
right.
many exciting adventures by Disney. I mean, they are specialists on that.
They're specialists in many things, like cruises. The overall cruises, not just the Disney Cruise Line. They're specialists in quite a bit. And Universal, they have Universal Fan Travel as well.
Makes me want to go on another trip. And we just started this one.
We're on a trip. I'm so tired today. So we're a little rambly, but we just wanted to get this show up to talk about Mickey's Not So Scary. I mean, if you've done it before, it's not going to feel very new to you or anything. But if you haven't in a while, it's a fun event.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.